Welcome back to part 2 of our new setup tour. If you haven't already went ahead and checked out our first video, go ahead and check that out before you start watching that, because you don't really want to watch part 2 before part 1. That just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And it's like 5 minutes, so like go ahead, go watch it. Once you come back, we'll wait for you. I'm waiting. Okay, you're done? Okay. If you haven't already clicked off, that means you've already went ahead and watched part 1. So pretty much what this part is going to be is the part 2 of the setup tour. And this is going to be in-depth on everything that is in my setup. We're going to be going over everything, like my cameras, microphones, little stuff that I have, all the softwares I use, as well as some little tips and tricks that I personally use that might help you guys out. And as well as everything that has stayed the same and everything that has changed from the entire setup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into this. So let's go ahead and just start with all the many supplies that I use in my setup. So let's go ahead and start with my desk. My desk is something that personally me and my dad built together. I absolutely love this thing. It's a 70-inch wide by a 20-inch deep by a 29-inch height. So I personally think it's really good. It's a very solid desk, and it's really nice because I personally feel like if you're going to have a desk setup, you should go for a minimum of 55 inches, because that way you can have your PC up top so you don't have to worry about it sitting on the ground. You also have a lot of space, and with something like a 70-inch desk, which I know sounds a little ridiculous, it's really nice because I have everything that I could possibly need on this desk and have extra room in case I ever need that. Now, the next thing is my monitors. I have two 27-inch curved Spectre monitors. I absolutely love these things. I've never had an issue with them, and just like for the price that I was able to get them, they were amazing. I got these things for about 150 each. I don't know what the price they're running at now. You guys will see all the images for everything that I have in my desk setup here, as well as everything will also be down below. So if you guys want to go ahead and get any of this stuff, it will be down there. The next thing is our speakers. These things are absolutely amazing. They were definitely on the cheaper side. I absolutely love these things. I love the LEDs in them because it just gives you like a nice pulsating feel, how they're just constantly changing, and when they match up with your keyboard and mouse, it just looks absolutely amazing. Now the next thing is my headphones. These are Steel Series. I absolutely love these things. I have my two little Naruto Sharingans on them. I absolutely love these things. Sometimes they're too soundproof. Sometimes I end up being a little bit loud, which I think you guys who come to my stream know I'm very loud. That's always an issue, but I absolutely love these things. Highly would recommend them, and above all else, they really are good at blocking everything out and just putting you in the zone, whether you're editing, filming, or anything at all. Now, the next one is my mouse. I have a Razer Basilisk mouse. I absolutely love this thing. Once again, I've never had any issues with them. I absolutely love this thing just strictly based off of the LEDs in it are amazing. The click speed is beautiful. You can go ahead and get an entire Razer app that'll help you customize, if you're someone who likes to move a little bit quicker, have your own personal settings that you like to add to your mouses. It has that. Personally, I absolutely love it and would recommend it to anyone. Now, the first new thing to our setup is our keyboard. So I went ahead and switched out my Blackweb keyboard for this Razer keyboard. 10 out of 10, would highly recommend it. I had the Blackweb for a long time, and the only issue I really had with it is that it was way too loud. There'd be points where just you couldn't get away from it. Like, I'd be trying to work really early in the morning or really late at night, and it would wake everyone up, my girlfriend. It would wake my girlfriend up because it was just way too loud. But this thing is dead silent. Most of the time, you can't even hear when this thing is typing, and I love that. I love the fact that I don't have to worry about being loud by just typing in general. Now, to move on from that is my lights. So I've had these lights for a while. These are the newer pack lights. 10 out of 10. They're really cheap for what they are. They're just amazing. Probably used them for over a year now. I use them in my videos, in my streams, in just everything. It really helps with the lighting, and it helps because I'll show you guys really quick. This is what it would look like if I didn't use them. So as you can tell, there's kind of a big difference, but I would highly recommend these things. For the price that they are, they really are worth it, and they come with their own stands. You can get a lot of different versions of these. These are the ones that I personally have, but 10 out of 10, go get them. Now, the other lighting that I use is a Softbox Light. I personally am using this. I only have one setup at the moment because they are a little bit bulky, but I really suggest getting one of these because sometimes the LEDs are a little bit harsh. But if you get yourself a softbox light, it can help in any scenario. Whether you're filming at your desk or you're doing photography shoots or you're just doing videos in general, these things are an absolute must. They're really nice. They don't give off that kind of cruel lighting that some LEDs do. So highly recommend. I'll even show you guys what it's like with and without it on. So you can see with just these, it kind of gives off a little bit of a harsh feel, but when you turn it back on, it gives you a nice little shading and it kind of evens out the lighting on your face. And personally, I just absolutely love these things. Now, the first thing that is on here that is not going to be able to buy on Amazon, and that is my headphone stand. Pretty much, I have been using this for a while now. I didn't really use it too much in the old setup. I mostly just had it there strictly for looks, but this thing is a $10 headphone stand that you can buy at pretty much any Five Below. I went in, I got it, and I love this thing. It's got one USB in the back, and then in front, it's got 4 USB hubs. So if you need to, have an extra charger for your phone or just any other charging outlet, it's great, as well as it has a nice little stand for your headphones. And on top of that, it has a little indent piece so you can even rest your phone there. And it's usually where I have my phone during streams to make sure everything is running properly. So if you want to get just like a nice, easy headphone stand, go ahead and get one of those. And the next one, honestly, I don't know where I got this. This is what I use. It is a charging pad, but I have no idea where I got it. I looked on Amazon, I looked on Walmart, I looked on Target, I looked on Five Below, and no one had them, but I know you can get a lot of these. Personally, I would recommend just going to like a Five Below or something. Get yourself a cheap one. There's no need to drop $40, $50 on a charging pad. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But if you have the money and you like the design, go for it. But go ahead, get yourself a cheap one. This is the kind of next stuff this is my charger. So I use a lot of different chargers, phones, my cameras, and all of that. But the one thing I would highly suggest is getting battery stations. So pretty much this is my GoPro one. It comes with, I believe it came with 3 batteries, and then I had an extra one with my GoPro. I kind of broke one and then I lost another one, so hence why we're down to 2 batteries instead of 4. But it's really nice. You can easily plug it into the wall, charge all your batteries at once, and it's super easy to do that instead. I also am doing the same type of thing with my Sony batteries. They just sit right next to it. That also came with its own set of batteries. I'm just gonna leave it over there, but it's really nice with these because it has its own LED indicators on the back, so you know when they're fully charging and when they're dead. 10 out of 10, get charging ports and stations for all your battery. And the next thing, these things are also very new to the setup, and these are my monitor mount. So pretty much I used to have an old school monitor mount, which I didn't personally love. I know a lot of people end up liking them because it hangs over. It helps bring the monitors really close to your face. Personally, I'm just not someone like that. I like all my monitors pushed back to the desk so that it feels like I can utilize all of my desk. This is the one that I have. It's a lot cheaper than the one I also had. I'll throw that up now just so you guys can see what it looks like. And if that's your style, go for it. But personally, I went ahead and went with this one just because it gives you more of a minimalistic look. On top of that, it actually has a lot of little connectors on the back of the stand so that it helps you with your wire management and all that good stuff. Want something like that? I would highly suggest it. And the other mounts that we got that are brand new are these, my brand new light mounts. I have 3 of them currently. I'm using 2 of them for the lights, as I told you guys before. I'm also using the other one to hold up the camera that we are currently recording on. I personally just didn't like the old ones that came with the newer packs. It was the same issue as the monitor mount. They were just too bulky. It was taking up too much space. I wasn't utilizing all the parts of my desk. So I went ahead and get these. They were great. They just clamp straight to your desk. And oh my God, I have never been so happy with getting such a basic thing for my desk. These things are great. They go up super tall. They've got their own ways to adjust how high they are. They've got a ball feature on top so you can adjust your lights, whether you want to have them straight down, straight up, or directly at you. I would recommend them. And for the price that they are, they're not bad. Now the next one is this behind us, and it is our foam. So as you guys know, like I was saying before, on my Twitch, I ended up being a very loud person, and the issue with that is that my roommates, who are 2 stairs above us, usually can end up hearing me when I'm streaming or recording. But thanks to these bad boys, they can't hear me as much anymore because they're actually like acoustic foam. They're not fully soundproof foam, but they're acoustic foam. So when I talk very loud, they do absorb a lot of the sound, and I have actually heard from them that there is a very drastic difference. They don't hear me as much, and that's really nice because, you know, that means I can stream more and not have to worry about pissing off my roommates. Now, the next one, and this is probably not like the most expensive, but the craziest thing that we got that added to the setup, and that is my Blue Yeti microphone. This is 10 out of 10. This is what you guys are hearing right now. I have 2 different microphones that we're using. I'll switch between them right now. So the one you're currently hearing is the one that is above the camera. I'll go ahead and talk about that in a little, but we'll go ahead and switch back. Now using the Blue Yeti. This thing is an absolute monster. Guys, if you're going into anything audio related and you're gonna be doing stuff, you know, like streaming or YouTube, or you're gonna be doing a podcast or any of that stuff, get one of these. I know it's a little bit expensive to drop the money on, but you won't regret it. The last thing that I had was the Snowball. It's not the worst microphone, but in my streams, I was always hitting this one pitch that eventually would just cut out. So I went ahead, I got this, and I don't have any complaints about it. Highly would recommend Blue Yeti. They do it well. Not even well, they do it perfect, I'll say that. Now the next one is my webcam. This one has been here for the longest time, guys. If you know my channel, my streams, or any of that, you know that I've had this webcam forever. It is a Logitech 1080p webcam. We'll go ahead and switch over to it now. So this is the webcam that I know a lot of you guys are probably used to seeing on Twitch and whatnot, and this is it. I know it's not as wonderful as the other camera, but I absolutely love this thing. It's nice, it's easy, it's portable. You don't have any issues with it. And above all else, it's just a great webcam to use. Now back over. So yeah, that was the webcam. And just, you know, go ahead, get it. It's 10 out of 10 fine. And the last thing that we're going to talk about really quick is my SD cards. So before we actually get into what SD cards I use, get yourself one of these. Mine is a Hunsky. This thing is waterproof, shockproof. This thing is great. I can throw this thing, never takes any damage, as well as it's nice because it has 8 ways to hold all of your SD cards, as well as 8 additional ones for all micro SD cards. So that is a big win in my book because you can always carry as much cards as you should need. Now, as far as SD cards go, I only use these. They are the SanDisk 4K 64GB cards. I personally love these things because all the things that I personally can record in are all use 4K. So I tried to make sure that I can have an SD card that can support it. You don't always have to, and I know a lot of people don't usually use 4K, but I personally like it. I think it looks better, and you know, sometimes I slow it down and it just looks great. Highly recommend if you go ahead and get an SD card that matches the top priority that your camera can go for, so that if you ever need to use that, you have the ability to. The last thing before we move on is my PC. This thing is an absolute tank. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys everything that is in my PC here. It's a lot to go through, so I'm not gonna waste your guys' time and go through all of that, but it's all there. If you guys want, you know, recommendations for PC stuff, go ahead and comment down below. I'll try to help out as much as possible. But as far as an actual PC goes, this is what I'm working with, and it is a monster. I love this thing. I love the LEDs in it. My little socket is in it, and overall, it's just an absolute tank. It helps me with editing, filming, streaming, and everything that I could possibly need. 10 out of 10 would recommend getting a built PC. All right, so as far as like actual equipment and everything on our desk, that's about it, but we have a few more stuff to talk about. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the different cameras I have. So I currently use 3 different type of cameras for our channel, and that is 1, our GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 5 Black. I absolutely love this thing. It's nice and easy, shoots in 4K, and it was super cheap. I know you can get a lot of them for super expensive, and you know what, personally I just love GoPros. I think everyone who's either recording or is looking to just do any sort of video at all, get yourself a GoPro, because they're probably the most reliable thing that you can have. You don't have to worry about them breaking. There's a bunch of different accessories that you can get for them, and just above all else, GoPros are so basic that like you can't mess them up. So I personally love them. Now the second thing that we have is a Canon G7x. You guys also have probably seen this a lot on my channel, but I absolutely love this thing as well. The only issue I have with the G7x, and this is the Mark II to make that very specific, the Mark II does not come with an aux port, so there's no way to add a audio device if you wanted to add a microphone, given the microphone on it is pretty good, but it would be a lot better if you could get the next one, which, you know, if you have the Mark III, you guys already know it comes with that. That's wonderful. It's a great camera. I think if you're just starting, it's a great camera to get because all the settings are there. Everything is super easy. If you want to go the extra route, you can, and 9 times out of 10, this will get the job done. Now, the reason why I say 9 times out of 10 is because the camera we are currently using, the Sony ZV-1, is the camera that I use all the time. This is my go-to camera, and this is the camera that I personally think can get things done 10 out of 10 times. This thing shoots in 4K. I've never had any issues with it. The settings are amazing, as well as it has a lot of built-in stuff for new upcoming vloggers or people who are very experienced in this medium. And on top of that, the reason why I also love this is because of the microphone that is on top, or the microphone that you can add. It comes with a microphone on it, but I like to go ahead and take it a step further with my stuff, which is why we currently have the microphone on top of it, like I was talking about earlier. This microphone is a Movo double microphone. I personally love this thing. It's super nice because you can use this microphone to record in front of you, behind the camera, and on top of that, it can record both at the same time. So if you're doing an interview type scenario, it'd be really nice to be able to record both front and end without having to worry about any of the audio getting messed up. I went ahead and upgraded because originally I had one of these guys. It is a Comica microphone. This thing is an absolute tank. I was using this for the longest time, and overall it's just amazing. If you want to go ahead, get one of these, definitely highly recommend it. The microphone on the Sony ZV-1 is great, but if you want a step further, go ahead and get yourself one of these. And if you want to go ahead a step further, go ahead and get a Movo. And guys, there's plenty of different microphones that you can add, and they just get better and better. But those are personally the 2 that I use, so those are the ones that I would recommend. We are done with cameras, except one thing: tripods. There's a lot of different types of tripods. The newest one I got is this guy. It is an absolute tank. It can do just about anything and everything you'll possibly need. But I will say this: it is not necessary. Guys, if you don't have that type of money to drop on a tripod, don't do it. Guys, you can go on like anywhere. Go to your local Walmart, go on Target or anything, your Best Buy, Micro Center, whatever's closest. You can get yourself a very easy normal tripod, and they work just the same if you're doing basic videos. Obviously, if you're doing travel videos and you need that extra step, go ahead and get one of these. But if you don't drop the money if you don't need it. The other tripod that I would say is very helpful is one of these guys. This is a Famil tripod. It's really nice because it can bend. You can attach this thing onto any trees, whatnot. It also has a nice little dial so you can make sure that your camera is all perfect, as well as it has a nice little ball feature on top. And the one thing that I would really recommend this above all like other kind of very simple vlogging ones is this. So as a lot of people know, when you're trying to screw on a camera, it can be a very big pain in the ass to actually put on. But with this, since it can't move, you can just keep spinning it and it will pretty much tighten your camera. And honestly, I would never think that something this simple would be one of my favorite things that I've ever bought. So tripods, there you go. And then the last thing, just some other equipment that I personally have, but I haven't really got the chance to use yet, is my drone. I have a Mavic Mini. I really want to go ahead and start doing a lot more travel stuff so we can whip this thing out. This thing is amazing, also shoots in 4K. Oh my god, I have messed with this thing a lot in my life, and it's just amazing. I just personally have not found a reason to use it in a video, but hopefully soon we'll be able to. Alright, so now that was all the supplies that is in our desk, and just everything that we use, everything that I personally use, and all the stuff that you guys see and what helps me make this channel my channel. On top of that, we have some other stuff to talk about before we get out of here. So the different softwares that I use. Personally, guys, if you're gonna go ahead and you're just starting and you don't have the money to pay for something like Premiere Pro, go ahead and get VideoPad. It's a lot cheaper of an option, and honestly, it does a lot of stuff. It's what I started a lot of my videos out with, and I probably used it for the first year. I am just starting to like really get into Premiere Pro, but if you're looking for a very basic software, go ahead, get VideoPad. It costs a little bit of money, but it's definitely nowhere near as bad as like 20 bucks a month for all the Adobe stuff. It's like, last time I checked, it was like 20 bucks for like an entire year, or it was 10 bucks for an entire year. Either way, it's a great price for something that if you're just doing the basics of editing, it will work perfectly fine. But like I said, I use Premiere Pro. Honestly, it's a tank of a program. If you have the ability to pay for Premiere or the Adobe set, go ahead and get it. I'm personally at the moment using a Premiere Pro for editing, Lightroom and Photoshop for thumbnails and just photography stuff, as well as After Effects for just other stuff that might be needed. So those are personal, the 4 that I use, and honestly, there's 100 different things that you can use through Adobe, and honestly, they're all great. When it comes to organization and whatnot, I use 2 different things. I use Google Drive and I use Notion. I know a lot of people have obviously heard of Google Drive. If you've been in any school ever, that you probably used it. And honestly, if you can learn how to use a lot of Google Drive, it's one of the best places that you can use to organize all of your equipment. And on top of that, it's just great. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit better, is Notion. Guys, this is a great way to be able to customize all of your stuff and make it in just any way, shape, or form that fits you personally, as well as there's hundreds of templates. The final thing when it comes to softwares is Streamlabs. This personally, what I use Streamlabs OBS, not normal OBS. Streamlabs OBS is the other version. I personally like it a little bit more. If you're just starting, OBS is probably the safer bet because it just has everything laid out a lot more simple, but Streamlabs is making it a lot easier. So if you're looking to get into streaming, use Streamlabs or just OBS. Either way, they're both great and easy to use. That is all the software stuff. Now, the final stuff before we get out of here. This is all my little extra tips, tricks, and stuff that I personally use, and hopefully it'll help you guys. 1, go ahead and stop buying stuff on Amazon or stop buying off of normal websites. Go ahead, go on your phone, go to Facebook, make an account if you don't have one, and go on Marketplace. Guys, Marketplace has everything you'll ever need, but for 10 times cheaper. I've gotten my GoPro, you guys saw the price of it. I got this thing for like 75 bucks, and nothing was wrong with it. And it came with a card, given there are a lot of times where you can get screwed over on Marketplace, but sometimes you have to take the chance. And honestly, if you're saving money, it's the best way to go. 2, organization. So if you're looking for organization, whether it's on your PC or anything below, plan it out first. Don't just run into it blind and hope that it's gonna work. Just try to plan everything out. It makes it a lot simpler down the line when you're trying to organize stuff. But when you're talking about organization in your desk and like cable management, get 2 things for sure: zip ties and cable managers. These things are a lifesaver because you can zip tie all your cords together, you can cable management all your stuff, make it nice and all clean and just beautiful. And honestly, cable management is highly underrated. For the people who know cable management, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When it comes to just other little stuff, go ahead and get these. You guys probably know of them. They're the double stick Velcro things. I use a bunch of them all across my desk, whether it's to put my lights onto my mounts or my batteries on my table. Just overall, they are 10 out of 10. I cannot recommend these things enough. And you can get them like anywhere. Go to your local Walmart, Target, Best Buy, maybe. All of them should have them. And the final thing is design. Guys, when it comes to design, do whatever the fuck you want, pretty much. I am not gonna sit here and tell you like, oh, you need to have a like $100 LED strip going around the back of your desk to create that nice glow, or you need like that $100 Funko Pop that is just gonna sit there, or you need, you know, a Sokka boomerang. Actually, you probably should get one of those, or get like an LED lightsaber. I don't know, guys. When it comes to design, don't listen to anyone. If someone ever tells you how to design your desk, tell them to go away. Tell them you don't want their help anymore. Because when it comes to design, guys, it's all about you. It is your desk. Don't ever listen to someone when it comes to design unless you're actually asking for their opinion. Because when it comes to design and it becomes your desk and your office and your own little spaceship, don't listen to anyone. Make it how you want, because at the end of the day, it's your desk and it's just make it your own. Do whatever you want. If you want to go ahead and spend like $1,000 on a cool crystal LED globe, do it, because it's your desk. That's pretty much all I have to say. When it comes to all this stuff, at the end of the day, it is your own opinion. If you guys don't like any of the stuff that I personally have in mind, that's awesome. Go ahead, and I want you guys to tell me what kind of stuff, what like neat stuff that you have in your desk. I really want to know, and maybe it'll help me, and I hope some of this helped you guys, whether you're looking to just start a setup or you want to upgrade or anything at all. I really hope this helps. And yeah, feel free to hit the subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more videos in the future, whether it is weird anime related, cool, fun videos with friends, or just anything else at all. But above all else, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace. Bye. Boom.